is in Gagan. Gagan means the the place of Almighty is in Gagan. Sky, we say it in our day-to-day language, but what it means is the place is on the higher conscious level. It doesn't mean the sky. What it means is in the higher conscious level. And Ardha Somaras Dhar. So what it means? The Somaras Dhar is the Dhar, I mean, which is coming down from the Almighty. So what is Somaras? If we try to understand this, we have to understand the qualities of Almighty. Then we will understand what is Somaras. So we all know, we all have read in the first chapter of Swarved, where Swamiji has mentioned about six eternal entity. Out of those six, there are four conscious entity, and those four are: first is Almighty, then second is Akshara Brahma, the third is Sadguru, and the fourth is Soul. Those are four conscious entity. But if we focus our uh, discussion on two conscious entity, one is Almighty and another is Soul. Soul is all of us, and Almighty is the one uh, who is explained here with the name of Adbhut Mayu. So what is the difference between these two conscious entities? In Vedas, one of the name of Almighty is Satchidanand. So what is Satchidanand? If we further divide that word Satchidanand, this word is made with three words: Sat, Chit, and Anand. So what is Sat? Sat means which is eternal, the one who is always there. So Almighty is always there, he is eternal. What is the second word? Chit. What is Chit? Chit means conscious, the one who is conscious, who has the property of consciousness. So Almighty is conscious. And what is the third property? That is Anand. What it means? Bliss. And this Somaras, what is mentioned in this couplet, that is coming from that bliss property of Almighty. And this is the third property which is missing in soul. Soul is also eternal. Soul is also conscious. But what is missing? Bliss is missing. And that's why we say the ultimate goal of soul is, reaching to Almighty. What it means, reaching to that third property which is missing, and that is bliss. So in this couplet, what Swamiji is mentioning, that Almighty resides in the higher conscious level, and this flow of bliss is coming from higher to lower level. It is coming from that higher level of Supreme Lord to the lower level. And in Vedas, that Somaras is named as Sita. So Sita is the name of that Somaras, which is coming from that higher conscious to downward. But what is the last line of this couplet? This is saying Yogina Prana Adhar. What it means? That this Somaras, that flow of bliss, is the base of all the yogis, prana adhar. Now, if we focus on this particular line, what is the meaning of prana adhar? In the physical world, if we say, what is the adhar of your life? What is the adhar of your prana? It means what is the base of your prana? What are the things which gives energy to your prana? It means that what are the things, if you will not consume those, then your prana will not reside for long. So what are those things? We will say those things are air, water, and food, right? If you will not eat for long, what will happen? Your prana will become weak, right? If you will not drink water for a long time, your prana will become weak. If you will not breathe the air, then in a very small amount of time, you will feel your pranas are becoming weak, right? So all these things, what we are having, are strengthening our pranas, are strengthening our life. So in physical world, these are the things which strengthen the pranas of a person who is in the physical world, who is in the materialistic world. But for yogis, who is strengthening them? Who is strengthening their soul? So for them, this somaras is the food. So here, prana adhar means the food, right? So for persons who are in this physical world, their food is what they eat, what they drink, what they breathe. But for the yogis, the one who is completely indulged in yoga, who is completely indulged in the prayers of Almighty, for them the food is the somaras. That's the greatness of this. And what is somaras? Somaras is the third property, the bliss property of Almighty, which is flowing from the higher conscious level to the lower level. And the yogis are accepting them because those are the base of their life. So this is the meaning of this couplet, the deep meaning of this couplet, which Swamiji has mentioned here. So what we all understood in this couplet, the three terms. First, what is Adbhutamayu? The second, what is Somaras? And third, how the Somaras is the food for the yogi, how it is different than the normal, ordinary people who are in this physical world. I'll request Raviji to go for the next couplet. Before going there, if anyone have any questions related to the first couplet, we can definitely go for it. I'll take a pause of 10 seconds. If not, then we'll go for the next couplet. Okay, let's go for the next couplet. Yeah. Can anyone please read this couplet? Then we will go for the meaning of this couplet as well.
Yeah, I can read that. कासा चेतन कला किरण सुरति चेति ज्ञान यह शब्द पर आय हैं संतय मत मत ज्ञान। भाष्य। कासा चेतना चिति कला किरण सुरति चित्ती शक्ति ये शब्द एक अर्थ के वाचक हैं। विहंगम योगी अनुभवी संत इस सुरति चित्ती शक्ति का ज्ञान रखते हैं। मन, प्राण एवं इंद्रिय जगत से आत्मरश्मि चेतन सुरति भिन्न वस्तु है। जय सुखदेव।
Thank you very much, Niranji, for chanting this couplet and explaining the meaning of this couplet. So, in this Doha, Swamiji has mentioned about so many words that is indicating to the same one word. So, what are those words? Kasa, Chetana, Chitikala, Kirana, Surati, Chitisakti. And what is this? All these words are indicating to that entity whom we call as Chetana, Surati. What is Chetana? What is Surati? So, Chetana or Surati is the conscious, you can say, the conscious power of soul. How soul is experiencing this world. Whenever we discuss with a person in a spiritual manner, even in our previous so many sessions, we all have discussed that mind take the power of soul and then utilize that power in experiencing the world through our senses organ. So what is that power? That power is the surati, chetana. Swamiji has written in Swarved, mana surati le urat hai, bahar drishya pasar. So the soul is experiencing this world. The soul is experiencing anything through this surati. Surati is the, you can say, the conscious entity. This is the power of soul through which soul is experiencing anything, either within this world or outside this world. So soul will experience through surati. Now the question comes when we discuss about yoga, right? What is yoga? Swamiji has mentioned yoga yoga sab koi kahe, yoga na jana koi, ardhadhar urad chale, yoga kahave soye. योग कहत हैं जोड़ को, योग कहत हैं संधि. Right? So even in this couplet, what Swamiji has mentioned, that yoga is when soul is meeting with Supreme Soul. That entire journey is yoga. So sometimes people get confused that if you are saying that yoga is a journey of soul, then why when we are talking about first level of meditation in Vihangam Yoga, then we start talking about mind? Why not soul? Right? That's sometimes that confusion comes in mind. But when we go deeper, we will understand that fact. That why we are concentrating our mind. That is also because we want to utilize the surati, the strength of surati in the practice of yoga. What actually we are doing by controlling the mind. And actually, do we really trying to control the mind or we are trying to do something else? Let's understand this first with a physical world example and then how that is relevant uh, in the spiritual practice. So, how we experience the world. If something is happening, our mind take our consciousness to that particular subject and then we experience that. If we understand that in a physical world example, let us suppose if you are watching TV in your room, right? then how you are hearing or viewing the sight of that particular movie, whatever is running on the TV. A movie is playing on the TV, right? It is running on the TV. You are watching it. So in the physical world scenario, your eye is capturing that image, and that image, you know, through mind, you are understanding that image. But let us suppose you are watching that movie is a little bit boring, and in between, you went on some thoughts. What is happening at that particular moment? The picture is still playing in front of you, the image is still catching by your eyes, but your brain is not accepting it, right? You don't know what happened during that time frame when you are not mentally, you are not there. So at certain level we can say that okay, that was the absence of mind due to which we has not experienced it. What is the other form of understanding? It is correct that it was absence of mind, but it was also absence of surati, right? Mind is carrying the surati of soul, and soul is experiencing everything through this surati. So wherever mind will go, the surati will go along with mind. In Swarved, Swamiji has mentioned that this Chetana has two forms. One is Surati, one is Nirati, right? So what Swamiji has mentioned in Swarved, Chetanaka Chetanakarana, Surati Nirati Sanchar, Mana Pragya Indriya Nahi, Jarayah Prakriti Vikara. Means your mind, your intellect, your all Indriyas, all are vikar of prakriti. What it means, those are the element of this nature. But what is chetana? What is surati? Chetanaka chetanakarana means your soul is doing its work through the surati. Surati is the chetanakarana of chetana. How beautifully Swamiji has explained about surati, chetana in Swarveda. Chetanaka chetanakarana, surati nirati sanchar. मन प्रज्ञा इंद्रिय नहीं जरय prakriti vikara. Further, Swamiji has mentioned, like I said, Chetana has two forms. One is Surati, one is Nirati. So when our consciousness, the Chetana is with mind, with intellect, with our physical organs, it is Surati. And we are in the physical world with that particular Surati. Whatever mind is experiencing, it is experiencing because Surati is with mind. So wherever mind will go, Surati will go along with that. And when Surati will go along with that, the soul will experience that particular thing because the Chetana Karan of soul is that Surati. So in first level of meditation, what we are actually trying to do, we are trying to concentrate the Surati at a particular point. Our whole intention is not to deviate the surati in this physical world. So we all say that we are trying to concentrate our mind. But actually what we are doing, we are concentrating our surati, chetana, at that particular point. So actually if we think at minute level, from day one, from level one of Vihangam Yoga, when you are working with soul. Definitely we say that we are trying to control our mind. But controlling your mind means what? Controlling the chetana, controlling the surati. Your consciousness should be at that particular point where you have been initiated. We say it as mind because Surati always resides with mind in its impure form. This Chetan Karan is in impure form when it is with mind, when it is with intellect, when it is with physical organs. What Swamiji has mentioned in Swarved about it. प्रथम अवस्था योग की मन व प्राण के साथ प्राण लीन मन लीन है जागे सुरति सनाथ. What it means that in the first stage of yoga, in the first stage of meditation, your mind and prana both are together. But when your prana and mind will dissolve, jage surati sanath, then that consciousness, the surati, will go with the sanath. Further, what Swamiji is mentioning in just next couplet, अब तो चेतन शुद्ध है चेतन सुरति संहार सुरति दिव्य निरति भई मिल सुख सिंधु द्वार. So, during your entire practice of meditation, during your entire practice of yoga, that Chetana is the key. The Surati is the key. But what is happening as you are going up in your meditation practice? That impure Surati is converting to the pure Surati, that is Nirati. That's what Swamiji is mentioning here. That when your prana and mind is dissolved on its origin, अब तो चेतन शुद्ध है चेतन सुरति संहार सुरति दिव्य निरति बनी. So when there is no mind, when there is no prana, then the same surati will change into nirati. It means when the chetan karan of soul is with soul, not with mind, not with prana, then it become nirati. And when it become nirati, then it further proceed ahead in its meditation journey to reach to that Almighty. In the first couplet, where we heard about that Somaras, which is the prana adhara of yogi. For which kind of yogi? The yogi whose surati has transformed into nirati. When their chetan karan is nirati, on that state, the Somaras is the adhar of their prana. When your conscious, your Chetana Karan is a Surati, what it means, when it is with mind, prana, and physical organ, then Somaras is not at that moment, is the Adhar of your prana. You are in this physical world at that moment because you are experiencing this physical world. You can only experience that Adbhuta Mayu when your Surati will be in its purest form in the name of Nirati, when there is no mind, when there is no prana, when there is no physical organs. So that's what Swamiji is mentioning here. Sant amat mat gyan. So the one who is a sant, who understands this, that this surati is different than mana, prana, evam entire indriya jagat. What it means that Swamiji is explaining here that the chetana, the conscious power of soul is different than mind, different than prana, different than entire indriya jagat, the physical organs. It is different. And that's what we all practices in our meditation. In our meditation, the first level of meditation, catching the mind at particular point doesn't serve anything. Actually, when you are catching your mind, you are catching the surati to that particular point. what we are actually doing, we are not spreading the energy of soul in the world, we are concentrating it to the particular point. This is a journey from outward to inward. When your consciousness will become inward, then only you will be able to access that somaras which is coming from higher conscious to lower, as Swamiji has mentioned in the first couplet, right? That somaras is coming from higher consciousness to lower consciousness. So if you have to experience that, you have to go inward. You have to go in that direction from where it is coming. You don't have to go in the opposite direction. And that's the entire philosophy of spirituality, how to go inward, how your Chetana, your Surati will become Nirati. And for that purpose, this 5 level of meditation in Vihangam Yoga is there. So this is what I am understanding from this two couplets, which I have explained to all of you. If there is any mistake, it will be my own understanding. I'm extremely sorry for that. But if anyone have any questions, query, or if anyone want to add anything, please come forward and share your views. Uh, thank you very much. Over to you, Raviji.
Yeah. Thank you, Sudhanshuji, for explaining these two couplets from Swarved. And yeah, the forum is open for everyone. If anybody having any questions, um, um, we can get it answered by Sudhanshuji. Anyone? This two one. If not, then can we move to the third one?
Yeah, we can go for the third one, but if it will take further 15 minutes. If we have, then we can definitely go.
No, I think two doha is sufficient per person so that we can at least digest, assimilate it. Otherwise, it is going to be too much for us even to assimilate.
Ji, definitely. We can take the next two couplets in the next session then.
Yeah. Okay, then. So, thank you so much, Sudhanshuji, for explaining both the couplets in very detail, giving the references from Swarved with the experience and from Sargudev Amritwani's. So today, both the couplets, we learned about what is Mayu and what is Surti and the different names of the Surti, and what is the nectar, or what is Anand, what is bliss, and how soul is missing those bliss because it is just having Sat and Chit, and our Supreme Almighty is having Sat, Chit, and Anand. So, thank you so much, Sudhanshuji, for explaining these couplets. We'll move to next section of our satsang today then. So, I would like to inform everyone about an event Navy is proud to announce. It is Warrior of the Week. We all know the best time to meditate is Brahm Muhurat between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. But most of us fail to do the show. To encourage this, Navy started this event where participants is required to join a WhatsApp group called Brahm Muhurat Warrior. Each participants practice Brahm Muhurat meditation on their own. There is no session to join. Once you are done with the meditation, you just send a status to the group like done. It's a text message. So if any one of you are interested to join this group, please let us know so that we can forward you the link. So for this week, Warrior of the Week is Surya Alam Raju ji, Tejinder ji, Vijay Kumar ji, Yogesh Shagar ji, Vinita ji, Prachi Shagar ji, Lalwani ji, and Sri Rang ji. Thank you so much. And this week, inductees of the week is Ranjani ji, Bhagwati Patel ji, Amit Talikar ji, Geet ji, Niranjan Kumar ji, and Maya ji. Okay. So we have now reached the last phase of today's workshop. In the Santi part, we chant for peace for everyone who exists in this universe. May Sadgurudev bless the entire cosmos with peace, love, and prosperity. I would now request Dev Ji to recite the last few lines of Santi part for us.
Hey Prabhu Shanti Sarupa Ho Shanti Shanti Maya Shanti 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 Jana Shanti Ho Purna Shanti Maya Shanti Hey Prabhu Shanti Pradhan Kara Duraho Sarva Shanti Deva Sada Phala Shanti Maya Shanti Shanti Sukha Shanti Sadguru Bhagavan Ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Dev Ji. I would like to thank all of you for joining us and also encourage everyone to ponder over the topic we discussed today. I'd like to primarily thank Jessica ji for prayers, initial prayers, Sudhamsu ji for explaining the couplets from Swarved, and Dev ji for final prayers. So, Navy has been conducting this Sunday virtual satsang and workshops over the US and in North America for last few years. Any queries related to this can be sent as an email to info@vyangamyoga.org. And yeah, let's implement what we have learned today. And if anybody wants to join the Brahmurat session, do let me know in the WhatsApp group. I can add them, and then see you next Sunday satsang at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the same Zoom meeting. Until then, I would like to pray to Lord Sadgurudev to give us blessings and have a very happy next week. Thank you, and Jai Sadgurudev to everyone.